Will Smith when you need him.
Smacking.
Smack your ass. Smack. Don't you ever drop that phone again. Don't you ever drop my mother again.
Yeah. Good evening, afternoon. It's a warm day, so stay hydrated. Welcome to Let the Madness Begin. William Coleman, Marshawn Taylor. It's a beautiful day outside. It's Friday, the weekend. Second to last weekend of May. Next weekend is the weekend for
Bike Week.
Yeah. They still have that?
Yeah, they still do Bike Week. I'm not going. I won't be there. I quit that. I didn't go. Yeah, it's been 20 years, and I'm gonna keep that streak going. 20 years and 20. No. Yeah. 20. Yeah, about 20 years. You're right. About 2002. For the last time I went. But yeah. Got you, man.
I do on location.
Oh, do it on location?
Yeah. Interview people, Black excellence.
Is that what you want to do, Sean?
That's Black excellence, right?
Black excellence on the back of a bike, all two ass on two up on the back of a bike.
Yeah, that's a CEO of a business on the back of that bike. You didn't know they could do both. Actually, that's how the this gala that's supposed to be in Charleston, Black Excellence Gala in not Charleston, but Charlotte on the 24th of next month. That's actually how they advertise it. They have a picture of someone doing a ratchet dance. They have someone pictured in nice suit and everything. They're like, why can't we be both?
Send that to me.
It's pretty cool.
I might check that out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in Charlotte.
No, is this just in that what kind of event? Just a regular?
It's supposed to be kind of like a networking gala where you go there, you meet Black professionals and some talk and everything. They're doing a brunch. I guess they do a lot of different things. They look like mostly in the Charlotte area. They do, I guess, a brunch on Sundays and things like that. So.
Okay, so definitely send it to me. Yeah, well, we might need to check that out.
Yeah, I ended up subscribing to their
page. Will you be allowed to go?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know, man. Okay. Just check it. It'll be funny, just saying. Yeah. You got responsibilities. I got responsibilities too, but at the same time, I really like to go. Just saying, ain't trying to be funny. Yeah. I'm dead serious. African American melanated man.
Yeah. It's an event. I'm going there for purpose of business.
Okay. I got you. And then, yes, that'd be that. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So we talking brown table talk today. We're doing a brown. So we should have a brown table.
It's brown. It's a color. It's a version of brown.
Okay, whatever.
See, that's gonna be part of our conversation too. Why is this version of brown always getting looked down upon? But we ain't gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about
maybe get looked down upon.
We're gonna talk about. We about to get it in. But fairness.
Yeah,
fairness. Does fairness exist?
Is it truly a thing? Is it? Because we talk about impartiality, we talk about fairness, we talk about a level playing ground, but without having to mention racism, it's kind of hard to involve race. But do you feel fairness is more of just a concept than an actual thing?
Yeah, it can't exist, and it never will exist.
Okay.
Even if you remove race out of it,
right?
Race is, I'll say, the pie is 75% race.
Okay.
When it comes to fairness.
Okay.
And the other half, the 25%, is internal.
Okay.
So, prime example. There's things in the Black community we don't like to talk about. So we'll never be fair even in the Black community because if you don't belong to a certain family, if I don't know your family, I'm not gonna really mess with you like
that's
that.
Understandable though.
No, it's not. See,
why is it not? Why is it not?
If it's fair, then it doesn't matter if I know your family. Fairness is giving you the opportunity
Well, it depends on the community. But go ahead. No, finish. But go ahead. So what you're saying?
Let's see that. But that's why.
Right, go ahead. Because here, like for instance, here in Charleston, it matters. It does and it don't. And but the thing is, it depends on. And I see what you're saying. It depends on what you bring to the table. What is the scenario we're talking about? Is it somebody that you're dating or somebody you're trying to do business with?
Both. I think both. Some people will will not mess with you if they don't know your family, or they'll judge you if they know your family off your family and not let you.
You gonna make sure you're not sleeping with your cousins, man.
But that's not fair.
So it's fair to sleep with my cousins too.
No, what I'm saying is it's fair to not hold me accountable for the actions of which my family has.
Okay,
in the Black community, we do that.
I got you.
So even in just that little area, it's not fair. Also, what's it called? Nepotism.
Right.
So that's going to exist.
Yeah.
So then it's not fair.
No, because existed in the Bible.
Exactly. So and at the end of the day, if I know you, even though you may not be qualified, unfortunately, you will get it over the other person who's more qualified because I know you. So fair will never exist. Does fair exist if we even take it down to the dating aspect of it? Let's say a beautiful woman has her options of any man she wants. Now she knows this man would treat her right and everything, but he may not meet those intangibles. He's not 7'9". His penis is not dragging on the floor, but he's good. But he's not doing all that. But this guy's going to treat you bad, and then you'd rather go with him because he meets those intangibles. So it's not fair. Because fair would say, let me look at it equally, but you're not. You're just going to go with automatically.
Okay.
So fair is a great concept that we use to trick ourselves. It's
I got you.
Like that more. It's like, I wish everything would be fair. Do you really know what that means? Fair is communism.
Ooh.
Fair is actually communism.
Real communism to the concept, not what they not what it is in Russia now.
No, real communism.
What they got going on is like what do you call it? Capitalist communism.
Yeah, they got the rich is really rich and the poor is really poor. There's really no middle class.
But those that are rich make themselves rich. You're right.
So fair is really communism. It's saying that I'm gonna take all the intangibles and attributes that add to the flavor and take them out and just make it bland for everybody to participate.
Okay, I like that you said that. It's a good point, man. Yeah. I like that.
So
okay,
because
like I said, just a couple of situations I've thought of and just remembered. It's just I think we preach. Like I said, we preach a concept. We preach things. Even in our community, we try to say we want everything to be fair. But there's people that are not in our community that look from our community from the outside in, or look upon other minorities that there's certain advantages. They call advantages that are not fair.
Right.
You know, like we say, what we call the first one is
affirmative action.
Affirmative action. What's it? Title in NCAA, the Title 10 thing.
10 for women.
For women. The Voting Rights Act. The equal. No, it's a Civil Rights Act, and then it's the Equal Rights Act. Yeah. Those were actually. I didn't realize there were two different things too. I didn't realize there were two different things until as I got older. Equal rights and the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah, not to mention, none of them are really part of the Constitution. But
they never. No, it's not part of the Constitution.
I had a great conversation with my daughter about that.
She didn't realize it was like the amendments.
She was like, do you know your rights? I was like, yes. She was like, in the Constitution? I said, no, because I wasn't in the Constitution. I said, I know the Bill of Rights. I said, I know the amendments. I said, always remember, if we were in the Constitution, we wouldn't have to have amendments.
Right.
So always keep that in mind. That's why I always tell people, no matter how many black people you get on TV that'll tell you, oh, racism doesn't exist. Antonio Brown, Kanye West, amendments happen. Like amendments around for a reason. Affirmative action was for a reason. They vote on them. I think every couple of years, I think they still vote on them. Like
they do.
Yeah.
No, that people don't realize they do.
Yeah.
They still vote to make sure that
they'll stay in place.
Yeah. Which is, I
didn't realize that not a part of the Constitution.
Right. And I'm pretty sure my civics teacher didn't know that either. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he would have told us that because he knew everything there was to know about. And he was conservative Caucasian American, conservative Caucasian. I don't want to say white. He was a Caucasian. He was a very sophisticated guy. No, he was pretty cool, Mr. Hood. But yeah, and and like you said, fairness was even a concept in the not the Bill of Rights, not the Constitution. What was before the Constitution? The preamble.
All men would be fair and treated equal, something like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't meant for us though. But it was a concept. Even then, all men weren't treated fair and equal because you know, they even spoke about your inalienable rights. You know, the rights to now they say the pursuit of happiness. No, the concept. And you fixed it. We lost the camera. Oh, the Matrix kicking. The Matrix is back, y'all. And we having all kinds of
I'm telling you, man. I'm letting y'all know that
all kind of calamities going on this
happens.
weekend, man. First the camera went in and out, now the camera dropping. And so you see, inalienable rights. So that's like the right to pursue happiness.
Right.
Food, clothes, and shelter. And to be treated as a human being. Yeah, those are possibilities, concepts.
Now, so fair for things to be fair in life, some has to be dumbed down and brought up to meet in the middle.
True. No, very true.
So it's impossible. That's saying that we all can make the NBA.
Hey,
but we can't. But fair states that we all should be, some shape or fashion should be in professional sports, even though.
So you're saying there should be a fairness act in life in general for everything?
But that's what.
Well, in America anyway.
But I think that's the problem we're facing now, is because that's what everybody's seeing now. They're like, that's what they're trying to get to, is that part of fair. It's like, we got it across the board. So I don't want no males to exist because no women will exist. So we can all be fair. Well, no. You can't beat me in MMA. The weakest man will always triumph over the strongest woman. That's a fact.
True.
That's a fact.
No,
that's a fact.
Even over the strongest woman?
Yes. I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a little bit of something in a man that a woman will never possess.
What's that?
Ego.
Oh.
He's never going to let a woman beat him.
Hmm.
Now, I know a lot of people will be like, I've seen it happen. No, what you saw was a predetermined situation. In other words, I saw this woman beat up this man in the hood. He knows he can't physically beat that woman up on camera.
All right. Okay.
Let's stop this notion. Like,
okay.
If I know she could be welling on me and I cannot cop back in.
But wait a minute. I'm gonna stop you there. There was a YouTube video I watched. It was this woman. She was an MMA fighter, and she took on 4 guys, and she beat all 4 guys.
No, that's staged.
I don't think it's staged.
No, it's staged. You can't. It's impossible. Unless.
So you can take it, my son?
I'm going to tell you like this. Unless we test her pee.
I don't want to test her pee.
Exactly.
I mean, you could test her pee, but I mean.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you talking about her urine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Test her pee.
Oh.
Because I guarantee you she owns something. Because it's genetically impossible.
So you're saying there's a possibility that, okay, she's on something that kind of got her.
Think about it like this. Women who lift weights, they take a lot of testosterone. So that means you have to take supplements to be better than the weakest man.
Okay.
So I'm not lying. And a lot of those MMA fighters, women, have extra testosterone.
Okay. I can see
it's not me playing or pretending. It's a fact.
Right.
You're built different. So, but fairness would say that, yeah, we should all fight until a man whips your ass.
Right.
Until a man embarrasses you. Oh, yeah, there's a WNBA woman that could beat a man in basketball. No. And I watched the WNBA. The closest woman I think that could probably come close to beating a man was probably Cheryl Miller. And once a man fully develops, she ain't even beating him. Because you have to think about
the perfect
matchup.
So you think she couldn't beat Brian Scalabrine?
No. The perfect matchup. You have to think about it. For that theory, the woman have to pick the perfect matchup. The perfect matchup.
Okay.
They all rave about Brittany Griner. Hope everything works out for her and overseas, with Russia and everything. But you're like, oh yeah, she could play because she's tall, this and third. Liz Cambridge, they're tall and everything. Who you gonna pin?
I want to wrestle her.
She's kind of.
I don't care.
She's kind of high and scary at the same time. Like she's very beautiful and scary.
Hey,
but I love it.
Exactly.
But who's she beating in the NBA?
She can beat me in the NBA all day.
Exactly. She'll pick you. But she cannot pick. She's not going to pick Dwight Howard one-on-one.
I think she would.
No. Know who she would pick?
Who she pick?
The 8th grader down the street because it looks better.
No, I don't think she would do that.
She's not going to pick. She's not.
I think she'd pick Brian Scalabrine when she pick.
And they'll be embarrassing.
I mean,
if
she picks Dwight Howard, she's trying to have his baby. That's what she's trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. Now let's stop.
She's trying to have his baby.
But that's what I'm saying. So fairness makes people think that we're all equal, and that's not. That's the I think that we get confused.
So, okay, I got you. So we'll end it with all the comparisons. So, do you think it's something? Because you think about it, these are things that we are taught at an early age to be fair. Even in school, it's more like enforced the rule of fairness. So, do you think, as far as taking tests,
it's hard?
Like, so we don't. So, I mean, fairness as
for
instance, we're in a math test. You got a calculator. The teacher says, "Hey, if you got a calculator, you can use it. If not, you're SOL."
That is fair.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Why is that?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because you was probably taught to bring one, and either you didn't bring one or your parents didn't provide you one. So that is fair. But this is the other part of fair.
Wow. Well, go ahead.
But this is the other part of fair that people don't want. Since Billy don't have his calculator, nobody can use the calculator.
I like that. See, okay, so you see what I'm getting at now.
That's not fair.
Why isn't that fair?
Because if that was something that
so how about this with fairness to be this?
Remember,
if you use your calculator, you either get 100 or you get a 0.
No, because
why not?
Because
why not?
Remember what I said.
Go ahead.
For fair to exist, you have to dumb something down and raise something up.
So you give
exactly what you do.
So you give the calculator to all the dumb kids and then all the smart kids.
No, what I'm saying is that if you're in a class and the teacher says, which is probably on the syllabus, bring your calculator, and you don't have one, you didn't bring one. Now everybody got to suffer for you. So fairness is like, okay, wow, now.
So you mean to tell me? So if my mama and daddy can afford a calculator, even though they're for $1 now, you can get a $4 dollar store. You trying to tell me because they can't afford a calculator, it's fair because my Caucasian friend across the can afford one and he can use it. He must use it.
Because now you're telling him that this is something that Malcolm X talked about, and I'm telling you, I'm listening to his speeches again.
Go ahead.
You will cause your Caucasian friend to actually discriminate against you because now he's gonna feel like he can't be his true self because
so
that's not cheating. It's not cheating. How if the teacher said you can use your calculator on the test because your parents couldn't afford it?
So I can't say as a teacher, hey, you must get 100 or you fail.
No, because in what you're saying is that once again, to be fair, you bring everybody else down to bring everybody else up. So that's not fair to those people.
But what if I use a grading curve in that case?
That's different. So now what you're saying is I'm gonna take the top averages and the bottom and meet in the middle. Now let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Is that fair?
Yes. Wow. Yes and no.
No, I benefited from the curves.
Yes, it is.
I benefited from the curves.
Because like you said, everybody benefits. Everybody benefits. But majority of the time, how's it not fair? Everybody's trying to benefit. But think about it.
How can I show my true powers if I'm always dumbed down?
You're not always be dumb. Who says it's gonna be a thing all the time?
Because now you're putting.
See, now this is a one-time case. Okay,
it's not a one-time because once you open up the floodgates,
how they gonna know it's a curve?
Nobody's stupid.
How they gonna know it's a curve?
These kids ain't stupid.
There's some stupid kids nowadays.
You look at your kids, you're like
kids nowadays. So you know what one of them gonna do? We know what
and they're gonna tell.
You know what I'm gonna do? They're gonna videotape themselves doing dumb shit with the
you might be right, but I'm telling you once you start that and see that's the other part about being fair. Once again, now you're saying that I studied, I prepared, I did what I was supposed to do. Now
I'm telling you use a calculator though.
Yeah, but that's not my fault that you didn't have your calculator.
But now
you're making it my fault.
But what if I studied and everything, but I don't have a calculator?
That's still not my fault.
But if you get the better grade, but you get the better grade
because I not only study but I
no man, partner. Nobody's using a calculator. Nobody.
Well, you know what? You will be fired as a teacher.
I guess I'll be fired as a teacher.
I said fired as a teacher.
I said I can be fired as a teacher. Be fired teacher. I'll be fired as a teacher.
That's not fair. And you
not fair for what?
And nobody will want their child to grow up in that.
Okay,
because that's not fair. Because what you're really saying is that
no.
And actually, 2019 and 2020 proved this. Right. And this is the problem.
Well, I wasn't in this country at the time, so it really doesn't count. So you can't. Okay. But tell me what was going on in this country.
We're home. Okay. So schools had to figure out a way to still teach. So all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, you can't come inside, so we'll do it from home. So now internet came into play. So all of a sudden, you have people saying we don't have internet. Whose fault is that? That's not Billy's fault. That it is Billy's fault. Rashonda parents decided to do whatever they want with their money and not provide internet.
Okay.
So, but now either my parents' taxes are going to get raised to get citywide internet because let's be fair and realistic. Dear people, there's no such thing as a free internet. You're going to pay for it either way. Even when you go into these businesses are charging a little extra.
That's just in America. You know, in other areas, there is free internet.
Nothing's free in this world.
Oh.
There's nothing.
I'm trying to tell you, there's places in this world you just cut on your device and you have internet.
Okay, so who pays for
it? Wait a minute. Why does it matter?
You just told me nothing. You just told me free, and I just said who pays for it. So obviously somebody's paying for it, so nothing's free. So what I'm saying is right. Whether or not you see the bill is not part of the conversation.
Anybody can use it, no matter where you go.
But that don't make it free. See, the word free is nobody paying for it.
No, I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so who's paying for it?
Why?
Why does it matter?
Yeah, wait a minute. No, it's not why does it matter. I'm trying to figure out why wouldn't it be? Why somebody has to pay for it?
Okay.
There's places in Europe, like you say, you just call your device and use the internet.
Okay.
You know, so maybe provided by the government, but the government necessarily is not charged. Because the question is, who's charging the government?
Okay.
Who's charging the government? You mean to tell me it's the government parts? Who's charging the government?
Okay, you're right. So do they pay taxes like we do?
Probably not in this country.
So they don't have taxes on stuff and things like that?
Not for that. Like I said, there are countries in this world that they just
provide name
internet. UAE.
Okay, so
United Arab Emirates, right. Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
So they make it off
oil. Huh?
So they're oil based.
Right.
All right. So technically, it is being paid for. However, they will never
it's not
see
being
it.
paid for. It's being provided.
Being provided. So provided means paid.
No, it should be. There you go. So you mean
so the government's paying for it, right?
So you tell me. So you go into the forest, you kill a rabbit to eat it. So who provided? What government provided the rabbit to eat it, to get hunted and eaten, hunted, killed, and eaten?
That's different.
No, it's not. It's the same concept.
Wi-Fi is not natural. It has towers have to be put up, services have to be provided, things of that nature. So it's a different capacity.
So the beach. You go out to the beach, you walk onto the sand, and you get in the water. Mm-hmm. So who provided the sand in the water?
God.
See, you got to pay God. Huh?
We do by doing right. So
get out of here, man. Get out of here.
All I'm saying is that the truth of the matter is nothing's free. However, we won't. Now the problem came up during that time frame is the fact that now all of a sudden that was an issue.
Yeah.
And now people were like, oh my God, I can't afford it. So since I can't afford it, my child should just not have to go to school. But then it caused an issue. Now we have to make everything equal and fair, but it's not fair. I don't know what goes on in people's homes, and that's the fair part about life. I don't know what goes on in your home, and I don't need to know.
Right.
But you can't continue to sit up here and say because you don't have that someone else has to give you. If you don't have, then I can't use what I got. That's like on a basketball team. You may have to provide your own shoes. Your parents did not provide you the proper shoes.
Hey man, you better go to Kmart for buy some Shacks.
Does that mean I can't wear my shoes? Because to be fair, I can't wear my shoes because you don't have the type of shoes I have. But that's not fair.
I can see that. But you know what a lot of times when teams do? They do like a fundraiser so the whole team can
Exactly.
pick their shoe.
But is that fair?
Yeah, if it's a team fundraiser for the team to buy shoes together.
But see, that's and one thing I'm learning is that, and especially in the Black community, we tax people.
Somebody's gonna tax us, regardless.
No,
of you feel.
we tax our own people.
We tax each other.
Yeah.
My son, we tax each other. So
if you
we're trying to get our team to raise money as a team to buy a shoe.
Think about this. Player. Think about what I'm about to say.
Right.
If 5 people on the team could pay for their shoes, but 5 people can't, I'm taxing those other ones to do these fundraisers and everything to help those 5. That's taxing.
No. Everybody is getting the same shoe.
That's not life. And that's the problem.
That's
because I'm dumbing.
That's not dumbing down.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
So I have to do extra work. I have to do extra work because I can't afford. That's what you're saying.
My son.
Is that
my son? You suck at basketball. I'm a little bit better than you are. See me to tell me I should let you score one so you can feel I'm dumbing.
That's what you're doing.
I'm dumbing myself down.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind next time we ever play basketball.
That's what you're doing.
But that's something that's never going to do. But either way, for that concept, no, that's why a lot of they do that. Like, hey, everybody wears a particular shoe, so nobody's.
Once again, I have to.
Oh, it's not dumbing anybody down. It's bringing the team together.
No, you can bring the team together without having to do that. See, I think yes, you can. So NBA teams they wear different shoes, but they're together.
That's the NBA.
Now it's the NBA, but it's a team concept. So it matters.
No, we talked about it before. It's an individualized team sport now. So let's be playing.
So basketball is individualized team sport. So why
the NBA is individualized? Quit trying to change the words up. That's what I told you. The NBA now is an individualized team sport.
If you want your children and family to keep getting taxed by the Black community, go ahead. But the Black community tax the ones who make it, and that's why a lot of people don't.
Trying to say what? She said, saying I'm Batman, you know, my kids rob me, you know, on the soccer team. You know, I'm trying to get the Justice League to pay for my shoes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm rich. That means I got to pay for the little team shoes.
That's what ends up happening.
I could do that. I have no problem with it. It'd be a tax write-off anyway.
The issue is that people under the Fairness Act is that you don't hold individuals accountable anymore. And that's where the problem comes in at. Because I always know we're going to have that fundraiser. Okay. I always know we're gonna make sure they're gonna make sure I have that Wi-Fi. They're gonna make sure I have this, I have that under the fairness. When in reality, it's not fair because someone has to compensate for that. It's not that we're having a fundraiser. The fundraiser is not the problem. The fact of the matter is that
you don't penalize somebody for being broke, for being poor.
But you penalize somebody for having. So
why not do that?
So you tell me
if you have the most, why not?
Because that's not life. Then what's the purpose of you getting if you always have to give? Where they do that at?
My son.
Where?
That's what they want to do to the rich now.
I'm not for that.
Okay.
I can't make somebody because they did what they had to do to get where they're at.
Even if they cut corners, lives are at stake.
It's time for us to be adults.
Okay, be adults and pay. Do your part to support.
They don't. It's not their job to support me.
They're not supporting you. They're supporting everybody.
It's not their job to support everybody.
They support the government.
It's not their job to
support the public.
It's not their job.
So you rich, I'm poor. I pay more tax than you. That's fair.
That's a different conversation.
Oh, now it's a different conversation.
No, it's a different conversation because here's the thing.
But at the same time, my son, you try to determine what fair is in your eyes. Fair in my eyes is two different things. It's an individualized concept. But I see what you're getting at. But when we sit there and try to, now it sounds like you want to, like for instance, the teacher on one time says, you know what, and they break out their calculators. You know, but the thing was they ever brought up to always bring your calculators? Like you said, was it always on the syllabus? Mm-hmm. Or did you, if you just so happen to have one, you know, you're welcome to use it? Is it one of them things?
I'm pretty sure if a teacher said bring out your calculators, it's in the syllabus to have your calculators. Point proven. Algebra.
Right.
Now, if that ain't even algebra, let's just go with the school list that they give you every year, which is on the website, boys and girls. It tells you everything a child should
have. What if I don't have internet to get on the website?
They hand you a piece of paper. They even do that.
Okay.
When you go to open house.
So I can't get open house.
Well, then that's their fault because at some point in time you have to
grow up. Well, the school's too far from the house.
Then they shouldn't be sending their child to that school.
Well, the school's close by. Come on, man. I'm out in the country now. Middle of nowhere.
Then you know somebody that could take you there. That's scary. You can make it to the club. Like, we ain't gonna go there with black people.
You gonna tell a little kid talk about making it to the club?
No, I'm talking about the parent. Because the parent.
My parent works all the time. Both parents work all the time.
Okay. I will accept that. So they don't go. They definitely ain't going out. They don't make it to the bar.
Right.
They don't do nothing. They just get off work and go to the other job, or they stay on work overtime. But so you're telling me that they had time to have a child, but they don't have time to raise a child. Somebody said that if you couldn't afford a child, you shouldn't have a child. So now you tell me that person.
Who said that?
The one that's in jail right now.
Oh, okay. Who said that again? I just make sure who you referencing now.
I mean, he said that. So
you probably wish he was poor now. So
if he was poor, they probably would be Rico.
Exactly.
But they give you a list of everything you need to have. So I took that list and I was like, okay, she needs this, calculator. And it tells you what type of calculator. Right then and there, I have a decision to make. I can bull crap her and go get the dollar calculator and screw her. I can stick around and not get her calculator, and then all of a sudden she's in class and if she needs a calculator, then it's like, oh my God, I don't have a calculator. Or I can just say, you know what? I know I'm gonna be spending between $50 to $100 on this particular calculator. I might as well go ahead and eat it.
Okay, which some parents.
That's parenting 101.
Okay, I got you.
So if she's in class and the teacher says, all right, because I've been in class where the teacher be like, pull out your calculator, you can use your calculator. And there have been people that didn't have their calculators. Why should I put mine away? I was prepared.
Were you one of those people, my son?
No, I always have my calculator on me. I use my calculator. But what I'm saying is, so because if you start there by telling people that they can't, then what's the purpose of you going to college? Because
how do you go from women?
Well, because listen what I'm about to say.
Go ahead, yeah.
The calculator and the calculator and the college degree are a events. They're a add-on to your already available skills. Uh-huh. So if you tell me I can't use the calculator because this person have a calculator, when it comes to a job and I have the degree and the knowledge, you're gonna make me strip my degree away to make a balance for the person that don't have the degree. And that's not fair. But then it is fair because now you make it a even playing field. So what's the purpose? So like you said, nobody uses a calculator and nobody goes to college. Then nobody.
Well, that's a little far fetched. That is a little far.
But that's fair,
right? It's
right?
a little far fetched. There's nobody that'll go to college.
But how do we judge fair?
You said fair doesn't exist. So how are you gonna judge
exactly? It? But what I'm saying is,
don't try to say this exactly.
But when you said I would tell them nobody can use a calculator.
Yeah.
Where does it stop?
Shoot, don't use a pencil either.
Where does it stop?
No
That's
paper.
what I'm saying.
No paper either.
It seems like once you cross that barrier, it will continue to go on. Which is why we've been having issues in this market. That's why they always say create your own. Because then you can determine what's fair. But even when you create your own, you don't do fair hiring practices. So in reality, fair will never exist because even with the person who preached fair will always have done something that's unfair because at the end of the day, to be fair.
Oh, it's going to be unfair to somebody. It's always, fair is not 100. And I just want to make sure that concept, I think that's one of the discussions about. It's not necessarily like there's no definite fair. Fair is not a definite. There's nothing that can be boxed in because somebody can say, hey, well, It's not fair that, you know, they don't meet these requirements, you know, these physical requirements, you know, but you get the job over people.
And we've
Yeah.
seen this at a particular employment.
Right.
People got the job because of nepotism,
Right.
what they can do orally and bootily and everything. We've seen this.
You can say anally. Bootily. You make it up.
Yeah, I like
You can say anally. You talking about
anally.
bootily.
We've seen these things. We've seen people get these jobs because
Gotcha.
of that. And they overlook people who not only qualify, but just with paper, but with actual experiences get looked over because of those.
I got you. Good point, man. Good point. All right, so let's move on to the next thing, you know. But no, ain't nobody's a calculator, paper, pencil, whatever. Yeah, but tell me how to do this question on the board. Everybody feels.
What board?
The one I'm using. The one I'm using.
Chromebook.
On Chromebook. Okay. Project it onto the screen. Let's go.
In the Google Meets.
Google Meets. Yeah. School nowadays.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do with this one first, and then we'll go to the second one. You know, I have an issue with gangs.
Okay.
I think they're punks.
Okay.
And this past week proved my theory.
Mm.
All these gangs we have, right?
Right.
So how did a white boy walk up into a pretty much predominantly black area and murder a crowd and walk out and not get caught or shot or anything? But we have all these gangs.
Interesting.
I'm not even gonna do that.
Let's
go to the second one. We got all these gangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can a white boy walk in the church and kill your aunt and uncle and everything and leave and you not even touch him?
You're not still gonna find gangs in churches or grocery stores.
But you know you got a relative that's in the gang throwing up flags and everything. Why they ain't call up their cliques? Throw up them.
Because I'm pretty sure
they're punks.
No, I'm pretty sure those people that came there that are not from that area, from that neighborhood. So they wouldn't know where to start to look for this person.
It's funny how they can find anything they want to find when it comes to someone that look like them. But when it comes to people coming into our neighborhoods, hunting us down and killing us and walking out, they ain't nowhere to be found. They're pussies. All of them deserve to die. That's my issue with gangs.
Okay.
How you gonna tell me that a non-white person or a non-black person walked in murdering open daylight?
But you. Okay. So talking about Buffalo and what else?
We can talk about Buffalo. We can talk about here. We can talk about other places where.
Well,
people,
here.
I'm not even going to use the cops.
Okay.
The cop, but just the normal citizens.
Here you're talking about the shooting at the church about almost 7 years ago. Yeah, almost 7 years ago.
That's not even how you even doing. I'm not going to use Mike Brown because that's police. And the reason why I say police, I understand that it's kind of harder to kill a police.
Now, not to make an excuse, but let me start with the Charleston shooting at the church. At the ME Church at Emmanuel. The neighborhood that's church is in, there's nothing but overly priced, very expensive, upper scale neighborhoods,
right? Or
other churches in the neighborhood, and that people need to understand that. So you're not going to find much of anything there, much less college students hanging out, in that area in particular. The only thing, like I said, it's right up the street from MUSC. It's right down the street right around the corner from College of Charleston. So you might find some college students in that area. So we that for that one, you're not gonna find too many gangs on that side of the city. But you're going to now in Buffalo, that's a different story. I don't know. Have I been to Buffalo? No, I haven't been to Buffalo. I've been in that region. So more than likely, there's probably some kind of, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. I don't know. I got to, but at the same time, a lot of times these people see White people walk through there and they find them non-threatening in the sense to when I have to question, hey, if you think about it, you think about it. You think
No,
think
no, no,
about consider
I'm
and
not.
not threat and it's not that because you think a lot of times we're together in a group and in a sense and it goes back to what I told you before. They pick soft targets. They pick soft targets. So in other words, they're not going to pick somebody expecting something to happen. That's why they go to a supermarket. That's why they go to what's the other? That's why they go to a church because you're not going to find anybody to not expect. You're not going to be in church expecting somebody to pull a gun on you.
I like what you said. I do believe they pick soft targets.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People got to understand these are soft, and not to mean that they're soft targets are something that's unsuspecting. Right. You know, you're not expecting a lot of law enforcement. You know, a lot of resistance in general.
So black people, we're soft targets.
And not say that we're soft targets. It's not. It's like you said because he didn't think about it. He didn't go to the projects, and which he probably could have, but I'm pretty sure if it was a neighborhood with gangs and everything, I'm pretty sure he would have had some problems.
But here's my. I get what you're saying. You're right, and that's why I say we're.
Because you think about it, the only thing that really was there was a security guard and I think an off-duty cop.
Right, and I get that, but here's my thing. Y'all can get up, hop in y'all cars, and go ride to the opposite, the ops. Let's do the ops.
Oh, okay.
And murder their block based off of something that someone tells you.
Right.
You mean to tell me y'all couldn't do the same for Dylan Roof, for the guy in Buffalo? How about
now
Trayvon Martin killer?
Now, Dylan Roof had an escape plan. Period. Like I told you, if because you think about it. And I like to give an excuse for a lot of times it's a very planned ordeal. Like Dylan Roos, he planned what he was going to do because he like I said he's been in several times.
Once again,
several times. But at the same time, when I tell you I think when we spoke about it, when you're in a thing of a church and you meet somebody that's never been there before. You bring them like any church, they'll bring you in to kind of, hey, but at the same time,
no, I'm not disputing that. I'm just, I know I'm hard on gangs.
Yeah, you hard on gangs, but you have a very valid point because at one point gangs were started to be protectors of the neighborhood, and you have a very good idea. I think sometimes you get off, like they're supposed to be walking around guns, pointing guns at everybody that don't be in the neighborhood.
They do that to people who are in the neighborhood.
I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know about Buffalo, man. They definitely was no gangs in that neck of the woods in Charleston. I tell you that now.
No, I'm just saying. I find it very, very degrading when I know for a fact that they're more likely to kill me than to kill a white person.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree with that. But at the same time, if you and like I said, and let me put it this way, I've never been in a gang. I've never been one to be a part of something like that or to affiliate with something like that. Not it's a bad thing, but I think from the reasons gangs were started up to why they're existing now are totally two different concepts. Like the difference of today's NBA as to when the NBA started and began. It's totally two different concepts.
No, I agree. Yeah, I get that part.
Yeah, it's not like I said, and even then they were bad, because you still, hey, you inflicting harm and whatever on another group of people from, even though they came into your neighborhood or you go to their neighborhood or whatever school.
The reason I bring this up, and
they're not set to be considered security forces for it.
That's fair, and the reason I brought this up is because other races actually have what we could call hit squads. You can't go in their neighborhoods and just do stuff without them retaliating. But you could always come into a black neighborhood, slap us around, and we just march. You can't go in an Asian neighborhood and just act a fool. You definitely can't go in a white neighborhood and act a fool. You definitely cannot go in a Hebrew neighborhood and
Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. A very valid point, but I mean, Maybe we should start teaching them to be security forces.
I'm with you on that because these are the same people. And
but at the same time, the thing is, when we start doing like that, we empower them to be in a more of like an enforcement group. At the same time, them people could turn into a group domestic terrorists. Because you think about what are we going to teach them to do if you show them how to to secure a neighborhood?
what's the alternative?
Making neighborhoods neighborhoods again. Making everybody, have the police that patrol the neighborhood be from the neighborhood or be live in the neighborhood or close to the vicinity.
How do you want to do that?
I don't know how to do that. That's the only way it would work. You would have to. It's because you think about it. Even in some cities, at one point, and a lot of people I know that are from big cities like New York and Philadelphia, they'll tell you like back in the day there was cops from the neighborhood. They patrol, they walk the streets, whatever. And hey, 9 times out of 10, if something happened, they know who to talk to in the neighborhood to get an answer.
No, I agree with you.
That's the thing.
How is that going to happen?
Even how it happened, they used to be that pretty much used to be.
No, I know that part.
At one point, it was like pretty much a requirement.
But how is that going to happen?
How's what going to happen?
How are we going to have cops from the neighborhood?
Why can't you not have cops from?
I'm not saying you.
Not everybody in the neighborhood in a gang. Not everybody.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying you can't.
So now you're confusing. Now you can how? I'm telling you.
So are you recruiting people from that neighborhood?
You're going to recruit some from the neighborhood, but at the same time, you require the cops you do recruit to move into that neighborhood. And that's the same thing. Hold on. At the same time,
are you gonna pay them more?
No, you gonna pay whatever. Why should you pay them more?
Because you're putting their lives in danger.
No, you're not. If you're making a part of the community. That's the thing too.
So let me ask you this question. So let me get this straight.
So my thing is, hold on, because you go. So the thing is, because that's the issue. A lot of times is the cops don't have the cops that patrol us in our neighborhoods have no connection to the neighborhood. That's why you get a lot of cops doing what they do. They talk to us any kind of way. I'm not disputing that. But there shouldn't be no incentive for you to be a part of the community if you're supposed to serve and protect the community.
No, what you're saying is for them to move into the community, and I say, is there an incentive for that?
No.
Why not?
Why should it be a why there should be an incentive?
Because you already said the neighborhood needs police officers, right? So it's already.
Why should it be a incentive for you to be a part of the neighborhood that you're living in, that you're patrolling, you're serving and protecting?
Because I have a family.
Okay, but
so you want me to once again? It goes back to
hold on, stop. So why I'm saying all of a sudden I'm a cop in my neighborhood. People going to attack my family?
Let's live in reality and
people not. No, Marshawn, there's people now that live in the neighborhoods that don't get attacked. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Marshawn.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this: if a cop tells you that, he's lying. Just like he's lying if he told you he didn't see no criminal activity other cops did, or she did. They're lying. Cops' families are in danger. That's why, if you notice, and most of them don't wear the red and bands. Most of them make sure that they stay very plain when they're not in uniform. Try to be plain as possible because it is a danger. But what I'm saying is that you're asking them who are not from that neighborhood to move into that.
I ain't telling nobody to move.
Well, you said that. You said this
to be a part of. Hold on and stop. We're not moving somebody from that's already where he at. Because you got to start somewhere.
But then
why? Wait a minute. So my thing is, if you're coming, because if you're from the neighborhood already, why am I paying you extra? If that's something you want, if nobody's being forced, nobody's being coerced, nobody, and that's the thing. You actually gonna bribe somebody? Tell me what you're doing.
You get bonuses all the time
to do their job. So you should get a bonus to do their job. You get a bonus to do their job.
The military give out bonuses
to do their job, to keep them in.
That's the same thing.
That's the military. Dog, this is the cops. These are the police. Dog, we now stop. We're not.
What's the average? What's the average police salary?
I really don't know.
You should know. Before you make these statements, you should know. You should always know the average police salary.
So what is the average police salary?
The average police salary is around $40,000.
Where?
They're not making that much.
Maybe here.
They're not making that much.
Maybe here. But either
if you try to use New York,
and even
they got a strong police.
Even with that, it's said there's a lot of cops in New York City that patrol their own old neighborhoods.
That's different.
No, see, how's that different?
Because
Nobody forced them. Nobody said, "Hey, you live in New Jersey, you gotta live in New York." No,
that's how you started the conversation. That's what I asked.
Like I said, they are part of the community.
No, what you said.
Part of the community.
Remember what I said.
They are part of the community, my son.
You said,
and they are cops that actually live in, and that I know of that actually, hey, they started and they actually, hey, we might need you to move here, and they moved. But they didn't give them.
How you know? Honestly, how you know they didn't?
You know what? I'll call it. You know what? I'll call it.
I guarantee you, they'll say, yeah, they gave me a discount on my home. They gave me a secure loan or something to move there. And I guarantee you'll come back here and say, I have to correct that because that's what happened.
I'll make that phone call. And if that happens,
matter of fact, I'll put what?
You put what? You put on it.
What you will lose, my son? I'll put my Jordan 11s on it.
Your Jordan 11s?
Yes.
Jordan 11s.
I guarantee you that they were told that they were. I'm
it's
serious because what happens is, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that when they do stuff like that, they're giving them they have to give them an incentive. Whether or not you get told that is a different. But I guarantee he'd be like, he would be like, yeah, the house that I got, actually it was discounted a little bit if I moved there, or they gave me some type of I'm gonna
call them
because
and it could be, like I said, it's one that's from the neighborhood or the one that had to move. Why can't it be either or?
No, because
now you say they can be sent to stay in the neighborhood.
No, most people.
Okay, either way, I got you.
Because if you actually, because think about it like this.
I got you.
When you ask somebody to move there, you asking them to uproot their family. Number one, who may be established in one area. Number two,
what if they're single?
You ask them to uproot their life, however you want to put this scenario, to move into a neighborhood that you already needs police.
I'm trying to think. Why do you think every neighborhood is dangerous? No matter where you go, I don't understand it. So if I told you, hey, I need you to go patrol Goose Creek, but you live in North Charleston, I need you to move it. So, I mean, there are bad parts of Goose Creek, but not every neighborhood you live in.
So you telling me that if they say, hey, we need you to move there, we're not gonna give you no extra money or anything. The moving cost is on you, but we need you to move there.
That's moving costs. Don't sit there and play. You talking about a bonus. Stop saying because you get reimbursed. That's not a bonus. Because you coming out your pocket for something that's not a bonus. That's not like, hey, we give you an extra. So let's be clear. You talking about, hey, they get X amount of dollars or they get X amount of benefits. Hey, you get a free lap dance every time you come to the.
Because other than that, why is it an issue with me driving there? It has to be a benefit for me to be there.
You need to be a part of the community. From this point on, to be a police officer in my community.
By that logic, then every business owner that opens up a store needs to have free day because there's poor people in the neighborhood and we have to. I don't get that. That's only us.
So let me stop this. I'm gonna put this out there. If you're homeless, you actually can walk in. They're not supposed to turn you away. They're supposed to actually give you something to eat. In a sense, they actually don't.
Who? What law?
It's no law. It's just a thing.
What law?
There's no law. I told you, it's a thing.
So by that logic, then why are they asking me for money?
Because they want to drink alcohol. There's a difference. Stop saying. I'm trying to say, don't listen. They want to drink alcohol, but they ask you money for what?
I mean, if that's true, I would love that. I would
so
honestly.
When you decide to pretend to be a homeless guy, just wear a New Jersey,
I think I wear the Carolina one. It's homely looking anyway.
Nah.
Especially the ugly numbers like 23. You know what I'm saying? Wear that one.
Oh, you actually like the number awful lot. Okay. Sure, don't be hating on 23. I mean, what's Christian Lady's number? 69.
Greatness.
666.
So man, whatever it is, you know what is.
I know his favorite letters are HILL, BRIAN.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I understand the logic of having someone from the neighborhood.
Right.
But what I said was, how would you get that? Because
you
now
would recruit within that neighborhood.
But they're doing that now. We don't want to go to the police force. That's my thing. But see, I see the signs.
But we can't. But the thing is, when we do wrong, and we see people that are not like us or that are like us, but we have no connection with, and there's a miscommunication or a misunderstanding, when things go left, just from that alone, because like I said, we do have cops that are abusive out there.
Right.
But a lot of times shit goes left because we're not understanding where we're coming from. I understand what you're saying, whatever. But if I'm from the neighborhood, I understand the conflict of what's going on, the history of that neighborhood, history of certain people in the neighborhood, might be a better chance at understanding of what to do or how to make things, better.
Okay. I mean,
that's the concept of that. People look and people don't move this way. What you're saying is a possibility, but nobody wants some kind of problems with police. Anyway, nobody wants some kind of problems in the neighborhood. Anyway, I'll be honest with you, because remember, in Jacksonville, the St. Run Apartments, they had a police station in the neighborhood at one point. It was an actual apartment. It's a substation, and cops actually stayed in that. And it's not like they were regular people. There were police cars there. They'd be in their uniforms and everything, and they'll walk the neighborhoods, talk to people, whatever at the time. Something happened, they'll walk over, they'll drive over, that's what they do. They were actually part of involved in the community for a time, But they weren't, yes, they were there to, yes, they were as a force, but they were there to show that they were there to serve and protect.
No, I get that. I've seen that a lot.
But you talking about people, the cops, and not neighborhood is going to be an immediate threat, because people are going to be hesitant to do anything. They got cops right then there in the immediate reach.
No, I get that part. What I said was, how you going to, if we're not trying to be police officers, because let's keep it real, we're not.
No.
So you can't ask for fair treatment if you're not putting the people in place to receive fair treatment.
But that's where
Charleston is hiring like crazy. I see the signs, I see everything, but how many African Americans?
So why don't you fill out the application for North Charleston?
Because I want to be a police officer. That's not my calling.
What's your calling?
It's to be me.
No.
Not to be a police officer. I don't want to be a police officer.
That shit. But yeah, but all jokes aside, and that's the thing. Everybody, and that's another thing people gotta understand. It shouldn't be, if you want to serve and be a part of community, sometimes, no, it's not necessarily you got to be a civil rights activist. Sometimes your calling might be in law enforcement.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of people need to understand there's nothing wrong being in law enforcement. Regardless of what the stigma is, it's a very honorable job to have. Yeah. And there's a very great history in negative and very, right. There's a history to it. Yeah, there's some great traditions they have as policemen and officers, in certain areas too. So yeah, like I said, it's a mix of history and tradition that is good and also very horrible. But yeah, it's like I said, you want to be in a position of influence. That's a very great position of influence. That's ground level influence right there. Getting to know your community, getting to know the people.
Right. I do agree. You can't. It's hard to do anything if you don't have a connection. That's why a lot of businesses, when they come to a new area.
So I need to see my 11s before you give it to me tomorrow. So
I'm telling you, you about to say, you know what, he got something, and there's nothing wrong with
that. He got my 11s to give me. That's what he got.
I'm telling you, and I'm being real. There's nothing wrong with that. And,
I got you.
I have no issues with that because.
Giving up them 11s, you won't have no issues. You're just gonna give them up.
Like I said. There's nothing wrong with a police officer getting an extra benefit taking on a certain task. I can't. that would be foolish for me to say that they shouldn't, because they may have to do a little more extra than someone else, and there's nothing wrong with that.
We mean a little extra.
Like, for instance, moving your family into the neighborhood to serve the neighborhood better.
Okay.
And despite what we think, yes, they're not all neighborhoods are not bad, but they're not moving these cops into those great neighborhoods. There's a reason why they're putting them in certain neighborhoods, because those neighborhoods need more of a police influence.
That look like who?
Hopefully, look like us.
Okay.
Hopefully, which is a sad part. I mean, that's the sad part about it. It's our neighborhoods, which is a deeper issue that we have, which Malcolm X talked about, which scared me the most. But I do want to ask this question before we wrap it up, because actually wrap it up is a good part of this question. Do you look at Martin Luther King different now that you know that he may have stepped out on his wife?
No.
Should his legacy be different?
No.
Because you know it's a push for that people now are like looking at him different. I even had a conversation with a friend of mine a while back concerning it. He said he can't see Martin Luther King the same. And I said, why? It was like, because he cheated on his wife.
That has nothing to do with...
Actually, I think that's why he cheated on his wife.
His white women. And his wife was aware of it. She was very aware of it. And that's the thing about it. People look, and that's the thing. This is what I hate about what goes on nowadays. We're too busy worrying about everything that went on outside of what they were striving for.
Right.
You know, that's just like this is about Michael Jordan. He had his vices too.
Yeah, everybody has vices.
Right. Okay. So what? But you still buy Jordan shoes.
Because you want me to style.
You still, like I said, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? You still, you know, it doesn't take away from, you know, the legacy. You know, that's the thing. No, you know, because John F. Kennedy was a great man, but he stepped out on his wife.
Yeah, but we don't
he actually brought one, you know, a couple to the White House.
We judge ours harder than we judge the white ones. That's just how it is. Because Trump gets praise, and he was on his third wife, who was the mistress, and all this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, and that's the thing. So, if it's one of us doing that, my thing is, okay, so George Washington was a slave owner.
So was Abraham Lincoln. He definitely wasn't trying to free us.
So
Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't trying to free us.
No, he wasn't a slave owner. He wasn't a slave owner. He was a vampire slayer.
Okay.
It's clear.
Okay.
I watched the movie.
Yeah.
He was a vampire slayer.
Yeah.
It's clear. So
he was good.
That's right. That axe, boy. That hatchet.
But and I explained it to him like this. I said, I can't condone or condemn. In other words, I can't condemn him for what he did.
Okay, and
I can't condone what he
did.
But
let me pause on that though. Malcolm X. Before he was Malcolm X,
right,
he was a notorious criminal in Harlem.
I think that's why a lot of black people shun him in that.
But the man changed his life, turned his life around to becoming, you know, a great figure in history, period.
But I think that's why as black people, we haven't embraced him as much.
No, because...
Which is sad, because if you think about it,
a lot of things we talk now is a lot of things he's been preached.
That's exactly that. Yeah.
And a lot of things people don't understand. It's just nobody's saying anything new. Nobody's saying anything different. Everybody's they hear a speech that nobody really listens to as much, and they make it their own, which is understandable. But you can't say those are your words.
I'm telling y'all right now, if I gave y'all the CD that I listen to when I take my daughter to school, she listens to it. Sometimes I have to be scared that she might go slap a white person. I said, if you listen to that CD, I said, you be like, wait a second. This person said this past week. Nah, see, he was talking about this before. And one thing I told the guy that I was talking to about it, you know, outside of the fact that I can't condone.
And it's something, and I bet you it's something he watched in the movie. He just found that out.
That too, you know, they're trying to muddy up his legacy.
Yeah.
And one thing I said is that think about this, and I think people really have to understand what was transpiring. You may have a husband at home, Or you may not have a husband at home, but during that time, you have a husband at home.
You might husband or a wife. Just make sure we cover it all. We don't make sure leaving anybody out.
Okay, husband or wife.
Okay.
At home.
All right.
And you love them, you support them, but you see what they go through, and it doesn't look like they stick up for themselves. Because during that time, you stuck up for yourself. You was either hung, whipped,
right.
And here you have this black man who sticking his chest out to these white people,
right,
coming into your neighborhood. He's not a regular man.
No.
And that's the part I don't think people understood. When women saw him, it was like seeing Chris Brown. Except you knew he was not a regular man because his persona was different. He was boastful. He was galvanizing you. He was doing all this stuff, and you are mesmerized by this.
Right.
So honestly, it's something you never seen before.
Right.
Women gonna flock.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to happen.
Right.
Now, do you condone it? No. Do you condemn it? No. You say, you know what? If that's what he needed to do to get past what he got past, how can I tell him he was wrong when I have never felt the type of pressure he felt?
Right. Yeah, but no, we can't sit there. That doesn't change. No, it doesn't change anything. It shouldn't change nothing.
Because a lot of people, especially black people, we love to do that. White people don't care. They don't care about their people. Be like, yo, he murdered like 4 people, but yeah, but he did give me a tax break though. So I'm gonna remember him for that tax break.
Hmm.
Us, he sneezed. Yeah, Earl sneezed now. Can't vote for that man. He sneezed.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's what. But yeah, and I guess that goes by us knocking each other down. Just taking the air out of the sails, man. We don't. Yeah, we don't, and we the flowers we get when we turn around and throw them down the ground and stomp all over them.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's so wrong what we do with each other. You're so correct. And whoever said that, they need to. And not to say that he didn't deserve it. It's just, it's like the only concept they ever focused on was I was a dream.
There was a lot more.
There was a lot more to it than I was just a dream. You know what I'm saying? Then I had a dream.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main focus that they hold to the light. They hold up to the light and it just beams down in everybody's eyes. And the only thing they can see is I had a dream, which is a wonderful speech, but there was a lot more to it than just that was just a step, not the overall mountaintop that he spoke about in that speech.
And hopefully y'all Bible-loving Christians always remember every man in the Bible except for one was something. Keep that in mind. Every book in the Bible that you love reading was written by either a murderer, an adulterer, a thief, a gambler, a drunk. Yeah. Sodomizer. Yeah. I mean, some of the great songs were written by who? But y'all praise white people so much that you forget that they don't sin.
Okay, let's end this.
Oh man, well, matter of fact, we'll give you one tomorrow because we feel good this week. We'll give you one tomorrow.
Well, definitely, man. We definitely do that.
We want to say thank you for tuning in. I promise you that me and this camera are going to be tight tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to get it together tomorrow. I'm not sure what's going on the last couple of days. Yeah. It's like we gave you a break yesterday. Now the camera just want to jump on the ground, do something.
So check us out and hey, keep hope alive, keep spirits alive, and always remember everything we talk about from different perspectives. That don't necessarily mean we follow that perspective to the T. It just means that's something to talk about.
Hey, prepare for him to give me a set of Air Jordan 11s.
I'm telling you, mark my word, you're gonna be like, yeah, he got something. I'm like, it's okay. It's not wrong.
Either way, I'm gonna find out. Either he get compensated or something. Either way, you about to compensate me them 11s. Put it that way.
Be blessed.